Hello, and welcome to another week at the bungalow. This week we're starting the construction of the dormer to go on the back of the house. So this is the bedrooms 1 and 2 upstairs. So you see us after a day of cutting and shaping all the pieces of timber. So at the end of last week we'd got a few sticks up and we got ourselves the templates for the rest of the roof. So all of the roof beams, roof trusses, whatever you want to call them, and all the uprights, all the bits that needed cutting out of them were in the right place, and so we created a couple of patterns. So first day was basically spent cutting this lot up so that we've got something to work with. So pretty laborious, pretty repetitive, jigsawing and circular sawing our way through the whole lot. But what it hopefully meant was that the preceding days would be a bit easier. So we've got all the bits in the right place. So we clear ourselves some space, prop them up out of the way, just loosely, double checking that they all fit. Once again, the weather not the most pleasant. We had some bit of wind, bit of rain. It was on and off all day. So then once those are up and out of the way, we've got some work area. Start by putting together the slanted end wall. But make sure to begin with that the wall that we've already created is perfectly upright. Giving the level a check by spinning it over. And making sure we're vertical in every direction. And then we can start on the side. So we've got a timber going across the top and then uprights. These will end up getting knocked together exactly the same as all the other timbers. But having the slanted area here just gives us a bit of extra space in the rooms, so it pushes us out right to the sort of the gable end walls rather than losing the 650, 700mm of space to create the dormer. Then more of the timbers go up, so we tooth these round the upright posts because we have to triple up either side of the doorways. So the bit you see at the top there is the as were continuous lintel / wall plate. So rather than having a wall plate and then having the lintel on top, or the lintel pieced in across doorways and windows, we just went for having the lintel all the way continually along the back. So that's 170 by 50mm doubled up to give the support over the openings. And then either side of the openings we have to double up on the uprights, and those are screwed together. This is probably one of the more difficult bits. Just access as much as anything, because we don't have the scaffolding up really high. So getting these initial pieces in place, once they were in place we could build off them no problem at all, but getting them in and vertical and upright. And the distance across the back's around about 11 metres. So we've sort of staggered all the joints. With the timbers, we're using a combination of 3.6s, 4.8s, and these have been cut to stagger the joints so that they don't fall above any of the openings. So we get that continuous strength. And then where there is a joint, it's supported by an upright, normally doubled up, if not more. Clamp to hold it in place. Now you can see the joints, either side we've got an upright with the joint in the middle, and then use about 4 or 5 screws across the joints to make sure the double is strong. And then as the uprights are put in, they're also screwed all the way through all the pieces of timber, so not just into the first piece, it goes right the way through into the second. So clamping the doubles together, make sure they're nice and tight before they're screwed together. And then we do it sort of spaced about 4 equal distances apart. And we double 2 screws in each gap, so to speak. And then, like I say, these are the ones that go all the way through and hold all 3 bits together. So you've not just holding the upright to it, but also holding the 2 pieces together. So here, once again, over the end of the door, we're tripled up. So we've got 2 French doors going in the back and a window. Just checking distances from the midpoint. So we've got the midpoint going as we're right to left of the building, which follows the ridge, and then we've got the midpoint through the centre, which is where the staircase is going to be, and that steel beam, as you can see there. Checking the plans, we've got a window going in the centre. Just double checking the measurements. This is the stairway corridor, and at the top of the stairs and straight in front of you will be a window looking out the back, and then the rooms will be either side of that landing, for want of a better word. So a bit of a conflab and a discussion. Time for a swig of tea, and then back to work. So now we've got the measurements in our head, we're using the steel beam as the reference point for the midline. And then we mark out either side of the hallway. And then get the uprights in place for the window opening. I think at this point we've got the window fitters coming to measure up on Monday. So we need all the openings in place so they can measure up. So it's a low window because it's going to have a window seat in front of it. And then back to the far end. So exactly the same as the rafters, we're on roughly 400 centres for our uprights. Sometimes more if the gap's bigger. And so on this occasion we've gone 400 from the end wall and put the extra one next to the doorway. End of the day, checking what we've done right, checking we're upright, making sure they haven't got to redo any of that. And then we're back again, and it's the other far end slanty wall. Exactly the same process as before, trimming them up, cutting the angles, so we're exactly the same as the pitch here, so that gets measured with the bevel, sliding bevel. So as we've got timbers running across the top there, we're screwing down into the timbers as well to hold them vertical. Once again, these will be knogged, both middle and bottom. And the last one going in there. So noggins going in. These are done at the midpoint, so roughly 1 metre up. Stop the twisting on the timbers. And we're also doing at the bottom, stop movement. So these get screwed down into the sole plate, and then each of the uprights get screwed into its corresponding noggin at the bottom. So just time consuming this one, not particularly difficult. Making sure they're level and rock solid. So like I say, this is the noggins for the bottom of the side walls. So bevels used to take the measurement, and they're all chopped to go in between. So you can see those all in place. Claire putting them out. And then once again they all just get screwed down. Stops those timbers wanting to slide. And then this was a bit of an arm and neck acre, but the noggins all the way across the roof. So they sit at midpoint, and they do the same job as the noggins in the wall and stop twisting of the roof joists. There we have it. Another week comes to a close. Progress for the last week. So the dormer structure is complete. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one.